Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the T32. It's a Tier 8 American heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of, what is it, Pearl River Encounter. And this one's under the command of SlyMeerkat. Well, his barrel's dropped right at the start, which means he hasn't logged into the game yet. And the Type 59 has had to go round him. Okay, the T32, it's a development of the M26 Pershing, and the Americans decided to develop some heavy tanks after the success of the M4A3E2 Sherman Jumbo, and they realised that they needed a heavy tank, something heavily armoured to defeat the Germans. And well, this was the project to upgrade the M26 Pershing into a proper tank after they did the T29. Now, as you know, the T29 is in Tier 7. This is a Tier 8 tank, which means it would see Tier 10 enemies, and that could be a bit of a problem because the armour on this tank is upgraded than the T29, but it's not as thick as all that, so it might have problems when it comes across a Tier 10. Now we're heading towards the village mainly because in an encounter map the village can control whoever's in the cap and get resets. They can also shoot at the enemy tanks they're trying to get near the cap as well. Sly's got 2 marks of excellence already. He's trying to get on the third. He's working on it. Now this tank can carry 2 different guns, a 90mm or a 105mm. And the 90mm develops 240 alpha, the 105 320 alpha. I presume he's actually got the 105, yes he has. 320 alpha, 218mm of pen with standard ammo. With the premium it goes to 252. Okay, first target comes into sight and he fires one into the Skoda T27, the autoloader. Now you can't see anybody in the cap there, nobody at the moment. This tank does have fairly decent view range, so it's a bit surprising that he can't see anyone. 390 meters is the view range, so you should be able to see them. Now it does have a superior turret, much like the T29 for that matter, but the armour, as I said, on the hull is better than the T29. Of course, the T29 would try to stay hull down to get shots on the enemy without actually being hit in return. He just spotted a KV4, pumps one in, gets a hit, high roll for 321. Going for it again. Ah, that one shot over the engine deck. So he's positioned himself in such a way that he can keep getting shots without... Oh, and that one went through the cupola. The one with the gun in it. Very well done. And another one. High roll, 349. KV4 obviously doesn't like what's happening. Yeah, and it takes another one, but low roll this time, 318. Okay, that Shrek is taking a bit of a risk. And he takes a hit for 330, another high roll. Can still hit him from here. Oh! Where did that one go? And ouch, we take a round from that Skoda, who's trying to get some revenge on us for that earlier shot. Looks like it's our platoon mate in the P44 Pantera, Omen Enraged. SlyMeerkat's usual partner in crime. And he's down there trying to stop and get resets. The enemy is in capture mode at the moment. Nobody trying to come up into the village, so he's unopposed up here. Okay, what have we got going on down here? The enemy's trying to push south.
Stop your advance.
To, well, push north, I should say, actually, to try and push our guys away from the cap area. And unfortunately, their 122 TM just took out our IS-3. That 122 might come back. If he does, he is taking fire. I think he's taking fire from the P44 Pantera. Oh, lovely shot. Low roll, 304. Sly, I think he was thinking about turning around there, but I think if he pokes out, he might be able to kill that KV4. No, doesn't need to. Our other P44 did the job for us. And maybe we can get a shot on that Skoda again. Well, they made 4 prototypes of the T32 and sent them for testing. They did a variety of things to them to alter them, but in the end they decided not to go ahead with the project. And the same project was the one that contained the T30 and the T34, as well as the T29 for that matter. They're all related tanks. Well, the cap is still going on. Owen Rage is busy elsewhere. He's actually nearer to the enemy spawn point. I presume he's actually going off to find the enemy Arty. He's found him, and I think he'll deal with him. Here's the capper. It's the ELC Evan 90, and he's just around the corner. Oh my god! Owen Rage just got taken out by the enemy Pantera. Unfortunately, he did lose a fair amount of hit points, and that's a kill shot. So that resets the cap. Oh! P-44's no respecter of armour. Pumps one into us, but it's only one 90mm round. And thank you very much, Mr. Skoda. That's revenge for you doing one to us earlier. And the Skoda's out the game. This tank is kind of sluggish compared to other heavy tanks. It's 60 tons in weight, so it is a big one, very big, and then slow. 35 kilometers an hour maximum speed, so low power per weight ratio. It's actually apparently down to the fact that it has poor ground resistance rather than the actual massive weight of the beast. But yes, it is a fairly low power tank. But the fact that it's got a gun that can do that, just keep pumping those rounds in. Standard reload time is 8.63 seconds, and I think that P-44 is about to die. That's the guy who killed Omen in Rage, and he's out the game. Okay, so now we've only got 5 enemies left, but there's only 4 left on our team, and that's a problem. Sly's racked up 4.2k of damage, and now he's got another kill, this time the Reveillerise, or Ravioli as Jingles calls it. It is true that they were actually called Ravioli. Oh dear, that's not so good. Yeah, T28 looking at us. No, didn't pen. Didn't get a shot, no. He was having a quick look to see if he could get a shot into the Skoda T56. Oh, yes! Got the cupola on the T28, takes him out, and he's out the game. Where's that Skoda? Yeah, that Skoda could be a real big problem. Auto-loaded with 2 shells and a lot of damage. And there's the VK. Now, this is interesting. 2 tier 8s slugging it out together. Goes to the cupola and gets it in using an APCR round. Can he get another one in? Yes! Look at that. Really good accuracy there from Sly. Right into the cupola. We are capping at the other end, and if the enemy doesn't turn up soon, they're going to lose this one to a cap. Can we get another kill? Hello, Mr. Cupola. Oh! Now, 10 degrees of gun depression, but it didn't work. He's thought about going over the edge and ram killing him. He's only got 203. He might as well. And he does. And he ram kills. Or actually, I think he shot him more than anything else. And that's it. They capped out. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker for SlyMeerkat in the T32. He did very well indeed during that game. He also picked up a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills in the game. He did get 4 exactly, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6 in this one. He also got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a tank sniper as well for doing the most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more. And look at the win 8, that was very good indeed. 11,888, which is super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he stood. Well, he got 5,052 hit points of damage. He was really pumping it out, and of course getting great shots such as those ones on the VK100-01P, which is not an easy tank to hit and damage. But then again, he did have to use premium ammo to do it, and good job he did have some spare. So the second highest damage in the game actually went to P44 Pantera. I think that's his. That's not his platoon mate, because Omen Enraged is actually down here. He's anonymized on this one. He actually picked up a defender for resetting the cap in his Pantera, but sadly he only got 768 hit points and was out the game, taken out by the. Can't remember which one it was now. Was it the Skoda or was it? No, it was the other Pantera on the enemy team, wasn't it? Yes. And the Pantera on our team, the other Pantera, actually managed to get 2,567, puts him in second place, and 2,319 goes to that T28. Yes, and that was quite ominous to see that coming towards us head on. But Sly's very accurate with his shots and got it through the cupolas to actually take him out the game. When it came to kills, yep, he got that one as well. So 4 kills to him, 3 kills to the Pantera. Also to the Skoda T27 on his team. Nobody on the enemy team managed to get more than 2. And when it came to base XP, Sly's got that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,468 went to Sly, 1,081 went to the P44 Pantera, and 838 went to the Wizzy 1201 GFT in that game. So very well done. That's a high base XP. He fired 24 shots, got 21 direct hits and 18 penetrations. Very good accuracy, decent pen. Didn't penetrate on a couple. Well, okay, that's understandable. 5,052 hit points of damage, of which 2,525 were at more than 300 meters. 9 hits received from the enemy, so he narrowly missed out on getting a steel wall. If he had 2 more shots hit him and got blocked, then he would have actually got that. 3 penetrations, 6 non-penetrations. I think that goes to show the armor on the T32 is much better than the T29, but it's just not enough if you're going up against tier 10 tanks. So if you're bottom tier, you need to protect yourself. He also blocked damage of 1,520 hit points, spotted 1 enemy, damaged 8, killed 4, 650 hit points of damage assistance, and he got 2 defense points when he reset the cap by killing the ELC M90. 76,925 credits for the battle, but after resupply of ammo, his repair and his consumables, he actually made a loss of 52,127 credits. But I don't think he'll be too worried about that because his damage rate is getting higher and higher and higher, and that means he's getting closer to that 3rd mark of excellence. 2,202 base experience points, or it's not base, but that's base, but this is the experience points he got for the battle. 8,808 for completing a mission, and 11,010 altogether, so a very good score indeed. So, let's have a quick look at the armor profile for this beast. Okay, as you can see here, the turret is very, very good indeed, although there is a bit of a shot trap, and we'll show that to you straight away. If you look at the turret side on, the mantlet does stick out, and it's kind of in a triangular shape, and shells that actually come in and hit the mantlet at the bottom end there have a tendency to ricochet down into the top of the hull armor, and it is fairly weak on that hull armor at that point. You can see it's 51 millimeters of impacted armor. And if a shell that's coming in hits and bounces down into that hull armor, it's likely to cause a bit of a mess in the driver's area. The upper plate is fairly strong, 127 millimeters impacted armor going up to about 180. Lower plate is 95 millimeters impacted coming up to 192. So the hull is stronger than the T29. The turret, again, another strong turret, very strong turret. 298 millimeters of impacted armor going up to 354. You can see it's nicely angled, but if I go up to above, you can see that the way it's angled round So it's actually providing extra armor from the angling. The sides are a little weaker, 76mm there, coming up to 88, so you can go through the sides of the vehicle if you can get it. Yes, angling does actually improve the armor a little bit, but not much. Sides of the turret are graded again, so the tougher armor at the front, and it goes down towards the rear. So 197 impacted there, it goes down to 152 there, and at the very rear it's also 152. The roof of the turret, or the roof of the tank, you can probably penetrate it if you're Arty rammer. 25mm on the top of the turret, although at the front of the turret it's 76mm. Obviously that's to help with deflecting shots that are coming directly towards you. And the engine bay is 38mm. So yes, Arty should be able to pen the top of a T32. That cupola, even though it's actually fairly prominent, is quite strong. 152mm of pen, and it's not too prominent on this one compared to some of the other tanks in the line, so you wouldn't worry too much about the enemy getting that cupola, but it does help you if you actually try and prevent them from getting shots on it, because it's on one side, so turning the turret actually moves the position of the cupola when somebody is trying to get a pen on that particular part of your tank. Let's have a quick look at the live version. Okay, so looking at the front, you can see the turret very, very strong indeed, because it's bright red. Not so strong on the upper plate, but it's still okay. And you can see when you angle it, it gets very strong indeed, but of course it exposes the weak side. So that's where the enemy is going to aim if you do angle. So I think you need to angle just a little bit to actually improve your upper plate. And if you can go hull down, that's even better. Let's have a quick look at the modules. Okay, module map, there we go. Right, driver on the right hand side, it's an American tank. The driver's assistance on the left hand side, we've got the tank commander in the usual position behind the gunner. He's got the cupola, the gunner has just got a gun sight. And the loader, well, there's two of them in this one because it's actually fairly big shells. And they're in the bustle of the ready racks in the bustle of the turret, whereas the two loaders are actually feeding them into the breech. And unusually, they're basically tandeming each other. Yes, one loader's sitting directly behind the other. So I presume what they're doing is they're sharing the work and shoveling those shells in, or in two-piece shells. One's shoveling in the actual shell itself, and the other one's putting in the charge. So that's what they're doing. Now, if I get that turret to go round, thank you very much. That's better. You can see there's a big ammo store right in the base of the hull as well. That's the long-term store. The engine at the back, it's got the transmission at the very rear, and it's sandwiched between two big fuel tanks. So if you aim for the engine, you're more than likely going to penetrate the fuel and cause a fire. And if you shoot through the rear of the tank, you might actually get the transmission instead. The best thing to do would be to aim for the left-hand side of the turret if you're looking at the rear, because that's going to be where the ammo rack is. If you're looking at it side on, just go for the bustle. That's the easiest thing to make it go bang, or directly underneath the turret where the big ammo store is, and that should make the thing go boom. Okay, so congratulations there to SlyMeerkat on getting his first ace tanker in the T32, but the way he's going with that sort of accuracy and that sort of shots, it won't be long before he gets his third mark of excellence for the T32, and I fully expect we'll probably be seeing that replay when it comes up. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give the video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.